guys, it's Clayton here. It's currently 9:20 p.m. on Monday, November 11th, 2024. It's left, where is it? Gate 12. I just finished seeing Terrifier 3. That was amazing, honestly, one of my favorite horror movies I've ever seen. And I'm about to do a review for it. Yo, it's Clayton here. Hope you're doing great. I'm back in my room now. I'm back home, and it's currently 10:48 p.m. and I'm here to tell you my thoughts on Terrifier 3. I don't want this to just be like a review of the movie, but more like a conversation between me and you, although you're not talking to me. I want to tell you guys what I think of the movie. Now, I had heard about this movie. I've heard about the Terrifier series a little bit off and on over the past few years, although I hadn't watched any of the movies up until recently. But I was hearing about Terrifier 3 being in theaters recently, and that people were walking out because it was so gory and because they were scared. And I thought that really interests me. I want to see that. I want to see what that's like in the theater. But I hadn't seen 1 or 2, so I watched Terrifier 1 sometime in the past 2 weeks. And then I started watching Terrifier 2 last night. I guess technically it was this morning because it was after midnight. And I had intended to watch the full movie, but I realized that if I watched all 2 hours and whatever minutes of it, that would be up until nearly 4 in the morning. And I was just too tired of that, or too tired for that. So I watched the first half of Terrifier 2 last night, and then I finished the second half today, like right up until I started Terrifier 3, because I was watching Terrifier 3 on Amazon Prime Video on my phone, and when I finished it, when the credits were rolling for Terrifier 2, I was in the movie theater parking lot at the Regal Theater in Auburn. So yeah, went right from finishing Terrifier 2 to going inside and watching Terrifier 3. I really enjoyed Terrifier 3. I would say it's probably like one of my favorite horror movies I've seen, and it's not really a thought that I expected to have, because, well, if I had just watched Terrifier 1, I don't think I would have thought that I would have liked Terrifier 3 as much. I feel like the movies get better with each movie. Terrifier 1, I don't feel like there's really as much plot to it. Basically, the plot is that Art, the clown, is just killing lots of people. The main character in that movie is, I don't know, there's this girl, and I think she's left a Halloween party with her friend, and then that's basically where the movie starts. There's lots of killing, and the main character is only alive in the movie for maybe like the first hour or so, and then her sister becomes the main character, and then her sister's name is Victoria Hayes, and she becomes the only living victim from that movie. Art the clown, yeah, he messes her up. And she's also in the second movie a tiny bit, and then she's one of the main characters in the third movie. Victoria Hayes becomes an accomplice. She's working with Art in the third movie. Anyways, yeah, I feel like there wasn't as much structure for the first movie. It's basically just the clown, Art, is killing all these people, and it becomes known as I can't remember. It's something County Clown. I think it starts with an M, but Milestown? I don't know. Anyways, second movie, which I started this morning, last night, whatever. I feel like there's a whole plot to it. The first movie takes place on Halloween. The second movie takes place on Halloween. At least part of it does. So I thought when I walked into the movie theater that Terrifier 3 would also be taking place on Halloween. By the way, I hadn't watched any movie trailers for Terrifier 3. I'd only heard about it. I didn't know exactly what the plot was. But yeah, I figured it would be taking place on Halloween. But it actually eh, actually takes place in Christmas time, the days leading up to Christmas, and it might end on Christmas. I'm not entirely sure about that, but the main character of that movie, Sienna, she was writing in her journal, and I remember that one of the dates was December 21st. Um, but yeah, sorry, I'm like so random. I'm gonna be going back and forth. I'm not just talking about. I probably already said this before, but it's not just me talking about Terrifier 3, but that in addition to my thoughts on just the whole all three movies really. Um and yeah, I was saying I think they get better as each movie goes on. I feel like 3, it's more of like an official, like more professional than I thought it would be, because 1 and 2 were seem like pretty low budget, but 3 it's like this is like an actual horror movie. Like I could see lots of people going to the theaters to see this. Well, if they're into gore and horror. Um, yeah. But I was glad to see Sienna and Jonathan back in Terrifier 3. They were the main characters in Terrifier 2. By the way, in Terrifier 2, when the mom was cleaning up their car in the garage, and then she's wiping the window and she sees Art the clown in the car. It's like, gosh dang it, he's gonna kill the mom. And I honestly did not see that coming. I had no idea the Art would be in that car. And then he just shoots the mom and she's dead. And I'm like, gosh, I didn't want her to die. Guess I had to go for the story. But basically in Terrifier 3, Jonathan and Sienna are sort of orphans. It seems like, well, Terrifier 3 takes place 5 years after the events of Terrifier 2. I'm pretty sure that's what it said in the beginning. And since the events of Terrifier 2, Sienna's been staying in a hospital, like psychiatric ward or something. And Jonathan's in college now, which he definitely looks older um, than the second movie, and that's pretty cool. Um, Actually, the actor who plays Jonathan, I think his name's Elliot Fullman. I've actually been following him on Instagram for like the past year or two. He's a cool kid, and I don't know, he's probably like 19 or 20, so why call him a kid? But I don't know. He seems pretty cool, and I like what he shares on Instagram. I like his passion for music and in life. Really, he seems pretty cool. Anyways, I was confused when I didn't see Jonathan in the beginning of Terrifier 3, though. I was like, is he dead? Is he not in this movie? Are they just not even talking about this character at all? But then maybe like 20 minutes or half an hour into the movie, um, you see Jonathan walking through the halls of this, I'm guessing like a dorm hall or something. Um, I was really bummed out that he died in the end. And he died like off screen too. It didn't show his death. It didn't show his uncle's death. Um, I thought for Terrifier 3, for quite a while, like the ending sequence, I thought that could have been a dream for a bit, because Sienna had been dreaming, and then she goes downstairs and she thinks she hears her uncle and aunt talking, but really it is the voices coming from Victoria Hayes, which might be possessed by the little demon girl from the second movie. I'm kind of confused. Sorry, this probably sounds so random, and hopefully you understand what I'm talking about if you've seen Terrifier 3. Um, but I thought it was sort of like a dream sequence for a bit. But then, yeah, she comes downstairs. Jonathan and his uncle are already dead. Um, she gets like knocked out or something. And then she's like tied to a chair, and so is her aunt. And like, it just kind of came out of nowhere that happened. Like, seemed like life was good for them. It didn't seem like I didn't think her whole family was gonna die again. Um, but yeah, the uncle dies, the aunt dies, her niece Gabby. I don't know if she's actually dead or not. It seemed like in the end she's like saying, "Oh, I'm gonna find you" or something, which probably means there's gonna be a fourth movie. I don't know. I would definitely see it if there was. I'm definitely gonna end up watching this movie again. I really liked it. Um, yeah, I don't know. Again, I think I already said this, but it just Terrifier 3 seemed like really well made, I think, like really professional compared to the first two movies. And the second movie was good, and it's definitely a step up from the first movie. Um, I think that Art the Clown, I mean, yeah, it's a horror movie, but I think in a way, hopefully I don't sound messed up for this, but I think it's a little bit of a comedy too, because Art the Clown, the way he's portrayed, it's kind of like a cartoon in a way. He's very over exaggerated. He doesn't talk. He's like a mime, doesn't make any sounds. So he really uses his facial expressions, of course, to express how he feels or whatever, since he's not using his voice. And when he's like killing people or just whatever, doing other stuff, it's very over exaggerated in his like reaction, and it's kind of funny. And I think if you watch the movie, you'll know what I mean. If you haven't seen the movie, it probably doesn't make any sense. Which, why are you watching this if you haven't seen the movie? Um, I don't know. It's a great movie. Um, yeah, I think it's a bit comedic too. I could hear a few other people in the theater laughing too. And I think in a horror movie, like it's nice to have that laugh. It takes away a little bit of the seriousness, but not like too much. Just because I don't know. It was scary, but like I think most of the scares for me were like jump scares. There was gore and like yeah, it was disgusting, but it wasn't like squirming in my seat. I wasn't about to throw up. I did have to walk out of the theater like sorry, this is random. I had to walk out of the theater like 2 or 3 times to use the bathroom. And I didn't want to leave. Partially because I didn't want to miss the movie, but I was also thinking, gosh, they're gonna see me walking out. They're probably gonna think, oh, that guy can't handle the gore. He's too scared. I was like, I don't want to be like known as that, because you hear about people walking out of the theater in Terrifier because it's so gory. Um, but yeah, I felt like self conscious about leaving because I was like, what are other people gonna think? Um, Sorry, this has probably been a very random video. I don't have any notes. Um, yeah, definitely gonna watch that again. And maybe I would do another review video after I've watched it again. Um, I thought during the ending fight between Sienna and Art slash Victoria Hayes, possibly possessed by the little demon girl, I don't know. Her hands get so messed up. Like she's sitting here on the chair, and then Art's just like smashing with a knife, and then because she's like about to like open her present or something from under the tree. But it's like, how can she even move her hands to open the present? Like her hands are like so messed up because of that, and like she's like she can barely move them. But then when she opens the box and it's her sword from the second movie, now it's like voila, her hands aren't hurting anymore. She can just like take it out and then wield it like it's nothing. And then she's like all in combat mode and she's fighting Victoria Hayes, and then she's fighting Art the Clown. And it's like all of a sudden it's like she never even got her hands like chopped up. I thought like once Art was like cutting up her hands, it's like I was like, oh man, she's done for. She's dead because like she can't even fight back now. But it's like boom, once she's got the sword, it's like she can fight. Sorry, that's like so random. Um, but I don't know. It was a good movie. There's definitely a few cheesy parts, probably more than a few, and unrealistic parts. And like I was saying, that last part is just describing not very logical for it to happen like that. Of course, it's a horror movie. Can't really think too logically in that. Um, yeah, great movie. Gore was great. I thought the storyline was great. I think it was cool to see Art the Clown dressed up as Santa Claus, and it was cool for it to like I had anticipated. I thought it would be taking place on Halloween again, but I think it was cool that it took place in a different time setting this time, or I guess season setting, which is Christmas time. Um, yeah, I liked it. It felt very well done. Um, I don't know. They probably had like a higher budget for it because the gore was there, but it didn't feel as cheesy as the last two movies. It's like the first two movies were just, it's almost like, to me, it felt like pretty cheesy because of the way it was done. But this one, there was cheesy parts, but like not all of it was cheesy like the first two. And the second one was good. The first one was good, but I felt like you could even just like not have the first one and you could just have the second one and the third one. Because the first one is more about Art the Clown, although it does have to do with Victoria Hayes, who's in the second and third movie. Guys, if I keep talking, I'm going to go nowhere, or I'm just going to keep repeating myself. So I'm probably just end the video here. Thank you for watching. I might do more movie reviews in the future. Let me know if I should, or if there's any movies I should watch. I'm going to go now. Thank you for watching. Have a nice day. Bye-bye.